IVM.
Welcome to Absolutely Right. I am your host Aditi Surana. In November 2015, a man lost his wife and the mother to his 13-month-old baby in the Paris bomb blast. He wrote an open letter to the terrorists. He said, "I will never let my child know your name. I will not grant you the gift of my hatred." I clearly remember watching that video and thinking to myself, we all know we need to forgive. We must drop that burning coal. We shouldn't be replaying the same event again and again. And still we fail to forgive those who have wronged us. Why don't we forgive? In the last few weeks, I have received many questions around this topic of forgiveness. In Absolutely Right episode number 43, our guest RJ Rishike asked me this question.
My problem with forgiveness also is the fear of this person will do this again to me. Then what I do is I say, instead of diving into that and constantly having that in the back of my mind, saying, will this person do this to me again? It's better to just maintain distance and, just cut away. So, why forgive at all?
To be honest with you, I was avoiding this discussion. Forgiveness isn't my strongest suit. It doesn't come to me naturally. After a lot of work and hundreds of journaling pages, I have finally managed to genuinely forgive some people in my life. In today's short episode, instead of giving you my advice, I would like to be a fellow student and share things that I have learned and still learning on my journey with this topic. Let's explore some haunting questions and ways to go around them. When we feel we are wronged in any way, the war between resentment and forgiveness begins. We struggle with questions like, how could they do it? How could they do this to me? How did I not see this coming? And the most important one, how do I make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever makes me feel this way again? If you're new here, let me fill you in. Absolutely Right Friday episodes are designed to create an actionable change. With every episode, we create a worksheet, or as we call it, Friday Fun Sheet, for you to commit to growth and taking actions. This is a PDF document that you can download from my website, aditisurana.com/podcast. Nelson Mandela, a man who is considered forgiveness personified, once said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." We don't want to forgive the abuser who inflicted emotional, physical, financial, or even social pain, as we feel the damage is irreplaceable. The disappointment is unacceptable. And the feeling of being thrown into the deep end of the pool is inexplicable. And we believe that nothing can fix that damage, that loss, crushing of the dreams that would have been possible without this betrayal of trust. We don't want to forgive, as we do not wish to feel the same way again. But before we understand what forgiveness is, let's take a moment and look at what forgiveness does not mean. Forgiveness does not mean that you trust the person instantly, or, for that matter, ever again. It does not mean you agree or support their abusive behavior or will tolerate any such behavior in the future. It does not mean that you have to be in a relationship with the person if you forgive them. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to forgive only when the person is begging for your mercy. And forgiveness does not guarantee that you will go back to that old equation or chemistry at all. Then why bother? I felt not forgiving the other person kept me enslaved. I was triggered when something similar to that situation showed up. My heart was filled with anger, resentment, and other bitter emotions. I didn't enjoy things that I generally enjoy. I struggled to give any new conversation a chance. If you feel such emotions about a specific person, fight, or an event, you know that you are frozen in that moment, frozen in that time. You feel as if you have no choice or control over your reactions. I feel forgiveness is worth a shot if you want to get rid of that helpless feeling. Let's explore the 4 burning questions that stop us from even considering forgiveness. First, how could they do it? In other words, how did this person reach here to this point of being mean or cruel? You may think that someone's cruel behavior is unnecessary, but every flaw has a history. When I study people as a graphologist, I get to see some unthinkable correlations between their current behavior and the troubles from their past that we cannot see or understand. An arrogant person was humiliated for being modest, or a show-off was disapproved over and over again by parents with very, very high standards. Or a hypercritical person has such high standards of perfection that he or she is criticizing themselves in their mind all the time. To forgive is to understand the origin of this flaw. It is being aware that our personal histories explain our imperfections, that you and I might not be cruel or mean in a certain way, but we are flawed in different ways for sure. Second question, how could they do this to me? When we trust someone or when we are in love, we see the person behave in a rude, mean, or abusive way to people around. We, for some reason, tell ourselves that this will never happen to us because we are in the inner circle or we are the special one. One of my closest friends is in her early 60s. She often says, Aditi, you cannot take someone's nature personally. Water doesn't leave its basic nature because it is kept in a different bowl. It took some time for me to understand what she meant. But it felt like a eureka moment when the penny dropped. If being sarcastic, impatient, or critical is someone's nature, then there is nothing personal about it. You are not part of that equation. He or she is not doing this to you, but that is how they do things. Question number 3. How did I not see this coming? I have seen people being self-critical. How could I be so stupid? How did I make the same mistake again? I knew I was walking into this. Why didn't I stop myself this time? Breathe. It is done now. Forgive yourself for not noticing, for being blind in love, for not seeing the signals. After all the initial hurt and burn, sit down and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What do I require to do here? Wait, there's a second part to this question, which is really important. Is it even true? When we are emotional, we mix what happened with what we felt. It's natural. Someone said, there were many terrible things in my life, but most of them never happened. Think of the person or the event and with all honesty, ask yourself, if I remove my emotional filters, my expectations, and look at the situation as a third person, then what exactly happened? Question number 4. How do I make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever makes me feel this way again? You cannot. If you want to drive, you can never guarantee that all signals will be green or you will never meet with an accident. But you can make sure that you learn the skill, master it, and take risks. There are many roads to forgiveness, spiritual, psychological, faith-based. But to my mind, the common factor in all of them is this crucial part, the willingness to forgive. Are you genuinely willing to forgive? Many great people have said this again and again. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It is an ultimate sign of courage and strength. To my mind, forgiveness is like the new normal. Unfamiliar, tough, uncomfortable, but required. You can sit there with your angry and resentful past and think about what all could have happened, or you can take a score and move forward. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Absolutely Right. Please share this episode with someone who's struggling to forgive. Comment section, tell me what forgiveness method has worked for you. Please share your experience and send your questions to me on my Instagram handle @Aditi Surana. If you like this podcast, then don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on IVM Network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are @IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. Let's connect on Wednesday. Till then, happy writing!
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money. So it's been a really fun week this week. We've had a great episode with Anand Neelakantan on Cyrus Says. Anand was one of the writers of Bahubali and it's done some really fun stuff since that. Ashish Vidyarthi also had a really good episode on his show, Begin the Journey. Please do check that out. You do know Yuddha is back, right? Definitely check it out if you haven't. Yuddha is our show about Indian ancient warfare. It's hosted by Anirudh Kanisetti and Aditya Ramanathan. Really great show. You should check that out for sure. And oh yeah, I forgot, Rishikesh was on the network as well. He was on Absolutely Right with Aditi Surana. Do definitely check that out. With that, hope to see you next week.
Hi, I'm Satyajit.
Hi, I'm Racheta.
We are from the Open Library Project and we host a podcast called Paperback.
Paperback is a podcast where we engage with stalwarts and experts from various industries, suggesting non-fiction titles that contributed to their journey in a big way.
We've had guests like Anjali Raina, Dr. Marcus Rani, Dr. Swati Lodha, Ambi Parmeswaran, Apurva Damani, and many more on our show Paperback. Find new episodes every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.